Good day everyone, I am Samera MOHAMMAD Aragasi, reporter Module 2. My assigned topic is all about the nature of cells and cellular energy. So, all organisms are made up of cells, some are composed of single cells, and some like us are composed of many cells. So, lahat daw ng organism ay binubuo ng cells. So, it means all living things made of cells, tulad ng animals, plants, bacteria. Cells din ang dahilan kung bakit tayo nabuo. Higit sa lahat, kung wala ang cells, maaari tayong mamatay o maaari tayong hindi magpatuloy sa ating buhay. That's why cells is very important to our life. So, let's proceed with our historical background. According to Robert Hooke, in 1665, British scientists observed massive finite cavities from the slices of cork with his self-made microscope. He named the structures cells, since the structure remind him of the small room in a monastery. So, according kay Robert Hooke noong 1665, siya yung nakakita ng mga cells gamit ang kanyang sariling microscope, na kung saan pinangalan niyang structure ang mga cells dahil nagpapaalala ito sa kanya ng maliit na silid sa isang monastery. So, according to Anton van Leeuwenhoek in 1674, that scientists made pioneering discoveries concerning protozoa, red blood cells, capillary system, and the life cycle of insect. He also perfected the construction of the compound microscope. So, according kay Anton van Leeuwenhoek noong 1674, siya yung unang nakapagtuklas tungkol sa protozoa, red blood cells, capillary system, and the life cycle of insect. At nagawa niya rin ang paggawa ng compound microscope. According to Robert Brown, 1831, British botanists observed plant cells with a distinct central part or nucleus, describe the streaming movement of the cytoplasm or Brownian movement. So, according to Robert Brown, noong 1831, siya yung naka-observe ng mga cells of plants na kung saan mayroon daw nucleus sa gitnang bahagi. So, according kay Duhargin, in 1835, French biologists observed that cells were not empty but filled with thick jelly-like fluid or protoplasm. So, according kay Duhargin, noong 1835, siya yung nakakita na ang mga cells ay walang laman. Pero ito ay puno ng kapal na jelly-like fluid or protoplasm. In Matthias Schleiden, in 1838, a German botanist concluded that plants are composed of cells and formulated the plant's cell theory. So, according naman kay Matthias Schleiden, noong 1838, siya yung nakapagpasya na ang mga halaman ay binubuo ng cells at kung saan nabuo ang cell theory of plants. And according to Theodor Schwann, in 1839, German geologists concluded that animals are composed of cells and formulated the animal cell theory. So, si Rodolfo naman yung nakapagpasya na ang lahat ng cells ay dapat nagmula sa mga dating cell o mga unang cells. According to Mike Snow and Ernst Rosca in 1932, German engineers built the first transmission electron microscope. So, according kay Max Knoll, siya yung unang gumawa ng transmission electron microscope. And according to James Watson, American biochemist, and Francis Crick, British biophysicist, in 1953 discovered the structure of DNA that unshared in the era of molecular biology. So, si James Watson, siya yung nakatuklas ng structure of DNA sa panahon ng molecular biology. So, let's proceed to the theory, Cells theory. Cell theory, the observation and conclusion of Slide in 1838, Swan 1839, and Virtue 1858 established the cell theory. The number one, all organisms are made of cells, and a cell is the structural and functional unit of organism. Cells is capable of self-reproduction, and cells come only from the pre-existing cells. So, according kay Slavin and Chuan at Virtue, according sa observation and conclusion nila na kung saan sila yung nagtatag ng cells theory, na kung saan ang lahat daw ng mga organism ay binubuo ng isa o maraming cells. Ang lahat daw ng cells ay nagmula sa mga mas naunang cells. Ang mga mahalagang tungkulin ng isang organism ay nangyayari sa loob ng mga cells. So, let's proceed to the cell size and shape. The smallest cells or bacterium known as a cytoplasm is 0.001 mm in diameter. So, the smallest cells, a bacterium known as a cytoplasm have a 0.007 mm. And the largest cells are the nerve cells is a graphic snake, have a 3.0 millimeter in length. And the human variety of size from small red blood cells that measure 0.0076 mm. So, the cells of humans is katamtaman lang maaaring magkasya sa ulo ng isang pen. So, we have two types of cells, which is prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. So, prokaryotic cells, from Greek pro, before, and karyon, are nucleus. Prokaryotic cells is cells without a true nucleus, composed of cells, wall, and plasma membrane, cytoplasm, ribosome, thylakoid, and innumerable enzymes. And eukaryotic cells, from Greek a through and karyon, nucleus, with true nucleus, characteristic of fruities, non-cellular or uncellulary fungi, plants, and animals. So, ang prokaryotics, let's talk about bacterium cells. This bacterium is a prokaryote, but if describing to the cells, it is prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells, from the Greek pro, before, and karyon, nucleus. These cells is without a true nucleus, while the eukaryotic is talk about the plant cells, fungal cells. This hypo is eukaryote, but if describing to the cell, it is prokaryotic cells and also have a true nucleus. So, let's proceed to the comparison of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic and eukaryotics is both have DNA, ribosome, cytoplasm, cells membrane, but eukaryotics is without true nucleus and eukaryotics is have a true nucleus. And also, prokaryotic, they can be uncellular or single cells organism, while the eukaryotic and cellular are multicellular. So, this is the picture of eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. So, we proceed to the morphology and ecology of the eukaryotic cell. So, plasma membrane. The plasma membrane, also called the cell's membrane, is a membrane found in all cells that separate the interior of the cells from the outside environment, like bacteria and plant cells. So, plasma membrane is that its act and cells is an act that internal environment and the inner cells organelle. So, meaning to say, cells membrane protect and organelle organize the cells. All cells have an outer plasma membrane that regulate not only what enter the cells, but also how much of any given substance come in. Like all other cellular membrane, the plasma membrane consists of both lipid and proteins. So the fundamental structure of membrane is the phospholipid bilayer and also plasma membrane, called as a fluid mosaic model as a proposed by Singer and Nicholson noong 1972. So, their function of plasma membrane. The function, this is a physical barrier between the internal environment and the inner cells organelle. It also provides a fixed environment inside the cells. So, the protoplasm. The protoplasm, it is the living part of a cell that surrounded by the plasma membrane. And the cytoplasm, it is the gelatinous liquid that fills the inside of cells. It composed of water, salts, and organic molecules. So, organelle is specialized and structure that perform various jobs inside cells. Also, ang organelle are embedded within the cytoplasm of eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. So the nucleus, one of the most obvious facts of the cells, is in the middle of the cells. Also, nucleus contains all of the cells chromosome. Nucleus is really an important part of cells. So the endoplasm reticulum, it is the transposition system of the eukaryotic cells, and also it is a types of organelle made of two subunit, which is endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasm reticulum. So, let's proceed to the ribosome. So, ribosome, this is an intercellular structure made of both DNA and protein, and it is the site of protein synthesis in the cells, and its function is to read the message DNA sequence and translate the genetic code into a speed story of amino acid. So the Golgi apparatus. This also known as the Golgi complex. It is a organelle that found in most eukaryotic cells. This is also responsible for the transporting, modifying, and packaging protein in the lipid into vessel for delivering its target. So the mitochondria. This is the found in most eukaryotic organism. Mitochondria use aerobic respiration to generate most of the cell supply of the tryptophan, which is subsequently used throughout the cells as a source of chemical energy. So, the lysosome. The lysosome, it is a membrane-bound organelle cells that contain digestive enzymes. These are involved with the virus process. They break down excess or wearing out cells fights. They responses agent against foreign substances such as between bacteria and viruses. So let's proceed to the chloroplasts. So the chloroplasts, these cells found in plant. Chloroplasts are plant cells organelles that convert light energy into a electrically stable chemical energy via the photosynthesis process. So the microbodies. Microbodies is a type of organelle that is found in the cells of plants and animals. This one take part in various biochemical reaction in the cells. So the last, the centrioles are facial vernal shape or organelle located in the cytoplasm of animal cells near the nuclear envelope. Its role is to organize microtubes that as the cell's skeletal system. Chloroplasts are centrioles are somali. So that's all. Thank you.